I'm now joined by Jesse Reed, the head coach of the Franklin Regional boys basketball team, as they embark on the Class 5A postseason. They'll be in a preliminary round game. First off, Jesse, congrats on getting there. I know that, probably midway through the section slate, it did not look like the Panthers might be postseason bound, but a pretty strong finish to the campaign. What do you think really allowed your team to make a second half surge to get back to postseason play?
Yeah, thank you. It's definitely exciting for us to be able to make that run down the stretch and put ourselves in position. I think guys just, started peaking at the right time. I think we had a lot of guys who hadn't really played a ton of varsity minutes together. So still learning tendencies and building that on-court chemistry. So just took a little bit of more time than maybe expected. But, towards the last few weeks of the season, we've kind of hit our stride and finding our rotations and finding, matchups and offensively what's working for us. And guys are just, playing with a lot more confidence. So it's been fun to see for sure.
You finished 6-8 out of Class 5A Section 1, but with the expanded playoffs now, 5 teams get in. You're able to take advantage of that. You think back to that win in overtime against Greater Latrobe, it feels like that's kind of a defining victory for this team. When you think back to that game, how important was that to know that you could hang with and beat one of the very best in 5A?
Yeah, it was huge. They're such a great team that oops, did I lose you?
You're good.
Oh, my computer just shut down. Sorry about that. No, Latrobe's a great team. So it was great to be able to get a win like that. And again, it's still that confidence in the guys that it doesn't matter who we step on the floor against, that we're able to compete and give ourselves an opportunity at the end of the game to make plays to try and win. We were halfway through section play. We're sitting at 2-5, talking to the guys. We're in a tough position there, trying to fight for that 5th spot. And I said to him, hey, if we can get to 6 section wins, you will put yourself in position to make the playoffs. And once we got to 6, and we were able to solidify that 5 spot in our section. So, but having a win like that, especially on such an emotional night like senior night, it was great for the guys. I'm so happy for them. It was one of the better wins we've had all season that they can look back on and really enjoy, and really set us up for us being able to make a postseason push here and have a tough Indiana team coming into play and give ourselves that opportunity.
Connor Crossy and Drew Davola are really the holdovers from last year's team that made it all the way to a state championship game, a WPIAL title game as well. Almost everyone else kind of breaking in varsity opportunities for the first time in their career. How has your job been different this year as opposed to last year as a head coach?
Yeah, it's definitely been different just because last year that senior group had built a sense of comfort level with myself, with what we were looking to do and our principles and what we were trying to accomplish. So a lot of them were really extensions of the staff on the court where, some of the in-game adjustments, we talk about in this. It was a little different just having such a experienced team like that it made our lives obviously a little bit easier as coaches. But this year it's been fun trying to figure out, with Connor and Drew being guys who've gotten a lot of experience, watching them mature and become those guys of the extension of the staff on the court, and, watching some of these younger guys step into more prominent roles. I mean, you got guys like, Anthony Mitchell as a sophomore, Colin Holt as a junior. You got Weber Rankin and Logan Walter as sophomores, Thomas Bridges giving some minutes as a sophomore. These guys really starting to kind of feel the game and go, figure things out. And then, you have senior guys like Jonah Johnston, who, maybe didn't get a ton of varsity minutes last year, but he's been around the program a ton. So he knows what we're looking to accomplish, and he's ready to step into a prominent role like that as a starter. And, you have Jack Spagnol, Mitchell Stonecheck, guys like that who've been around the program that, fun year to figure that out and watching these guys grow and mature as the year, continue to go on.
So you get the preliminary round matchup. You're the 16 seed against number 17, Indiana. The benefit is because you're the better seed, you get the home game. So how important is that, and how did the seeding align with what you maybe anticipated it would be?
Huge to be able to host a playoff game. It's, you give those guys one more chance to make a memory on their home court. And, hopefully we can get the community behind us again and come support us and, bring some life to that gym so that those guys are excited and amped and ready to play. I mean, we had such great atmospheres throughout the year. So, I'm looking forward to another great atmosphere for our guys. And, kind of broke out how we thought. When you're the only section with 5 teams, you're not expecting to be given any favors. So, kind of expected us to be around that area and be a playing team. So, we were ready for whoever we got matched up against, getting ready to prepare. We're going to have a couple great days of practice. We'll get some film in, start to learn a little bit more about Indiana and what they do. We don't have a ton of experience with them, so going to be grinding for the next few days in the film room and learning more about them and trying to game plan against them. So, I'm just excited for the guys that they get this opportunity to play in the postseason. It's never easy. And, after a run like last year, you want to give yourself another chance to get back in. And, basketball's crazy. You never know what can happen in a 32-minute game.
Lastly, you talked about last year. Some guys are back that were part of that. Is there any benefit for this team going through those lengthy runs last year that can apply to this postseason?
Yeah, I think it's going to be big for us because I don't see these games becoming too big for these guys who are returners. Obviously, if it's your first experience, which I mean, last year we were kind of almost like an anomaly with that because usually your first playoff experience, sometimes the lights can get a little bright and sometimes it can change the way that you play or change the way that you operate. But our dudes just came in with such confidence and were ready to go and never let the moment get too big, never let the game get too big. They stuck to what they did and stuck to their principles, and that's why we had a ton of success. So I'm looking for a very similar mindset and a very similar approach this year with this group where those older guys will be able to kind of guide these younger dudes along where, we can just treat it as another game, even though it is, it's postseason and there's a little bit more weight to it, especially though, you're one and done. So I look for those guys to kind of keep that same approach, keep that same mentality. And, I'm looking forward to them to have another opportunity at this.
Well, Jesse, I think I did probably about a half dozen Zoom interviews during the postseason with you last year. Hopefully this is the first of many again this season. Congrats and good luck.
Thanks, Sean. Hope to see you again soon.